Caught tonight, the manhunt is over for a dangerous suspect wanted in connection with a murder in Palm City. We begin tonight with breaking news. James Stephenson, described by law enforcement as dangerous, was arrested outside of a Hooters restaurant this evening in Palm Beach County. Good evening, everyone. I'm Liz Quidantis. The 61-year-old ex-felon was brought back to the Martin County Sheriff's Office tonight after his arrest. Deputies started searching for Stephenson this morning after he confessed to killing a woman who they found dead inside a home in the Martin County town of Palm City, close to Stuart. CBS 12's Lee Ortiz joins us with the latest.
This was a joint operation. The Martin County Sheriff's Warrants Unit, with the assistance of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Marshals, captured Stephenson without incident. We're told he was inside a restaurant at the time, and just a short while ago, he was brought here to the Martin County Sheriff's Office, where he will face second-degree murder charges.
Go ahead, I got you.
Wearing flip-flops, James Stephenson was hauled into the Martin County lockup, where investigators hope to begin questioning the former felon. Deputies say Stephenson had been a guest staying at a trailer home on a 5-acre lot located along Southwest Honey Terrace in Palm City. Less than 24 hours earlier, detectives say Stephenson made several phone calls confessing to a crime.
Saying that he had killed somebody, that he had messed up really bad, and that he wanted to let everybody know of what he had done.
Neighbors alerted deputies, and they immediately searched trailers, mobile homes, and boats on the property. Inside this home, they found a blood trail that led them to the bedroom and the victim, a woman who appeared to have been beaten.
There was blunt force trauma to the body, to the head and neck area.
Investigators spent hours collecting evidence and interviewing witnesses, including the homeowners who were out of town. They say Stephenson was a friend who they let stay in the home.
It appears that Mr. Stephenson had fallen on hard times, and they allowed him to stay in the trailer on the property.
According to deputies, Stephenson has a history of run-ins with law enforcement.
He has a lengthy criminal history. Some of it is violent, some of it is drug-related, some domestic. It's all over the board. Including
an incident in Martin County.
He was actually just recently arrested for a resisting charge off of a traffic stop where we believe he was a bit intoxicated.
News of the murder spread quickly through the neighborhood.
I've lived here for 25 years, and it's just a crazy thing that's going on right there. So,
a friend of the homeowners tells CBS 12 News they're vacationing in the Bahamas. We tried reaching out to them by phone. My name is Lee Ortiz with CBS 12, but they have yet responded to our voicemails and text messages. And hopefully they can tell detectives the relationship between the victim and Stephenson. As for Stephenson, he is being held on a $1 million bond.
Continuing coverage on a story we first brought you yesterday. Riviera Beach police are investigating one of their own after an incident at a Walgreens last month.
And today we spoke with a former police chief who watched that camera footage for himself. We asked him his opinion and how it was handled.
CBS 12's Al Peffley joins us outside the Riviera Beach Police Department tonight.
Here's the arrest report from early May when an African-American man was arrested after an incident inside a Walgreens store involving a white Riviera Beach police officer. The officer ended up punching him in the face. We asked a law enforcement expert to look at the video and give us his opinion.
That makes sense. That ain't no dumbass. It makes sense, man. Makes sense.
34-year-old Artie Edwards of Riviera Beach was upset with an employee at Walgreens, and Riviera Beach police responded to the store, telling him to leave the Walgreens. We asked Dr. Andrew Scott, a former Boca Raton police chief with more than 30 years' experience in law enforcement, to look at the video.
I don't think that the officer needed to use that type of force at that particular time.
If we slow down the video, you can see Riviera Beach police officer Kyle Culver pushes Edwards in the back. And then seconds later, the video, once again in slow motion, shows Officer Culver punching Edwards in the face. Edwards was arrested for obstructing an officer without violence and trespass after warning. Dr. Scott, who has testified as an expert on police practices and procedures in numerous court cases, says it appears from the video the officer did not need to punch the man in the face.
And there was no indication that the individual was getting ready to hurt the officer or do something other than he was verbally combative.
Dr. Scott points out there was another way to handle the situation rather than the police officer punching Edwards in the face, because the video shows another officer holding a taser.
He had a backup officer with a taser. Tasers are far more efficient most of the time, as opposed to actual physical force.
In the arrest report, the officer wrote, quote, Edwards takes a fighting posture with his fists clenched, closed. But Dr. Scott says the video does not show at any point that Edwards had his fists clenched, ready to fight. And Edwards is clearly not threatening anybody.
I would have told him to turn around, put his hands behind the back. If he refused, then I'd have to go hands-on with him.
Edwards remains behind bars and has a court hearing on June 27th. The city spokeswoman says Internal Affairs is currently investigating the incident at Walgreens and the officer's use of force. Officer Culver is now working as a detective with Riviera Beach Police.
Also developing right now, West Palm Beach police are investigating skeletal remains discovered in a vacant field off 13th Street near Sapodilla Avenue last night.
Yeah, our Lexi Nall is joining us live right now with the details behind the discovery. Lexi, what are we learning?
Guys, well, police say that a man was walking around this empty field looking for his missing rooster when he kicked something in the dirt. That something turned out to be a human skull.
We would like to resolve this and find out who the person was.
Police investigators and forensic anthropologists from Florida Gulf Coast University hard at work in West Palm Beach Wednesday, combing through this vacant lot where a human skull and arm bones were discovered in the dirt Tuesday night.
Don't know if it's a shallow grave per se, whether all the remains were together or they could be scattered over an area.
Investigators are combing the area looking for evidence and additional remains, but they can't say much about who they may have found.
At this point, we don't know how long the remains have been here. We will be checking any missing people that we have that could correlate to this.
Meanwhile, neighbors are a little creeped out, concerned that something like this could happen so close by.
About 60 feet from my backyard. You know, it seems like a TV show or something almost. So
Yeah.
And you know what's really scary is that it's been there that long and nobody identified it by the smell or anything like that.
Well, you're taking a live look here at where police have set up camp, and now they can't say for certain exactly when they'll be able to confirm how long these bones have been out here or who they belong to. Of course, bones do carry plenty of DNA, so we will bring you more information when and if they make an ID, both on air and online.